to the Sean podcast. Big Ush again. Got the Cat Daddy. Cat Daddy, what's on your mind?
3-game slide. I have dropped 3 games in a row. I started the season 4-2. I'm now sitting at 4-5. And I'm thinking, man, we're going to keep really good at this point. And I'm weighing out the probability because the trade deadline's coming soon. And I'm thinking, man, if I can get some nice keeper players for next year, maybe even a draft pick already for next year, maybe start selling off some of my pieces. But then someone wise said, hey, there's still 5 weeks. So we're going to see how this next one goes, see if I can get back to a winning record. But man, if I drop this one, I'm not feeling too good.
I wonder who that wise person
I think
was.
it might have been my cat.
Oh, yeah. This is a wise cat. Anyways, jumping right into it, we're going to go with our receipts. And, with everything else, Sean goes first. But with these, I go first. So, starting off, my first one, I said Lamar Jackson. Even though I don't think Lamar Jackson had the greatest game, fantasy-wise, he was a dub. But then I had Aaron Jones. That was not so much. Then I had Stephon Diggs. Not so much again. Then Dalton Schultz. Again, these powerhouses just dropping L's on me. But then I had QBs not to trust. I don't care if he has 62 rushing yards. Jalen Hurts is an L. I mean, it's a dub. I'm sorry. No. But Joe Mixon was an L because he got 2 touchdowns. Without those 2 touchdowns, his game was pretty pedestrian, but he got 2 touchdowns. But then redemption. DJ Moore did diddly squat against New England, and Kyle Pitts turned back into a rookie. Sean, how about yours?
All right. My QB to trust was Justin Herbert, and he ended up with 350-plus yards in the air, 2 touchdowns, another touchdown on the ground. I think that's a dub. My running back was Jonathan Taylor, who just ran all over the Jets. So I'm taking that one. Robert Woods is a little iffy on. He led the Rams in receiving yards. I mean, once they were able to move the ball in the second half, finished with 7 receptions, 98 yards. Still getting about 10 points from a receiver in a standard league, another 7 for points if you're in a PPR, so we're considering that a win. Man, my miss on tight end, though, I had Mike Gesicki. I'm thinking Houston surrendered touchdowns to 5 different tight ends this season.
You weren't expecting Tua wasn't playing, though.
Man, there was a lot I was not expecting this week. But yeah, finished with 4 catches, 54 yards, no touchdowns. Miami only got 17 points altogether. So I went 3-1 for my trust. And then for my don't trust, my quarterback was Ryan Tannehill, who only threw for 143 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick in the air. He got a little bit of a boost with the rushing touchdown, but he finished with 13, 14 points. So I think we're calling that a win.
Yes, we are.
Chuba Hubbard, that one's not even fair.
Moving on.
I don't think he would have done well against New England had Christian McCaffrey been out of this game or even in a reduced role. So I'm taking that one. I take my victories where I can get them. Hollywood Brown, man, I was right that he wasn't going to get a touchdown. Lamar Jackson threw 3 on the day, none of them to Brown. However, Brown did have 116 yards on 9 catches, which is really good. So I'm going to take the L on that one, and I'm taking the L on Pat Freiermuth, who ended up with...
They were rushing the ball with him.
who must have heard me, got upset. And it's like, hey guys, get me the ball this weekend.
And by any ways.
With all the help I've given these teams and players, I would have figured by now they would have sent me some sort of consulting fee or consulting payments, but I haven't received anything yet. So I'm going to check my mailbox tomorrow and see what I got out there. But I think overall for the week, I did pretty well. Hit on 5 of 8, so over 50%. I'll take it.
All right, now we're on to Sean's favorite part of the show. I'm putting a name out there. See how he feels.
And this is rest of season value, right?
Yep. Jimmy Garoppolo.
I would be surprised if Jimmy Garoppolo started a majority of the games moving forward.
Trevor Siemian. Hey.
I'm going to go no. I think the value for any New Orleans quarterback becomes a little bit worse when you consider that Michael Thomas is not coming back. And your number one targets are either going to be Marquez Callaway, Deontay Harris, who's actually been getting more targets, it seems, or Traquan Smith. And I don't feel good about any of those receivers. Your best receiving threat is your running back, Alvin Kamara. So I don't like any New Orleans quarterback, whether it's Trevor Siemian, Taysom Hill, whoever Sean Payton decides to roll the dice with. I don't like it.
Baker Mayfield.
Baker's looking dangerous. I mean, they put up 40-some points on Cincinnati. I would like Baker moving forward.
All right, next up, running back. Le'Veon Bell.
No, not Bell. Not Bell. This is not 2016.
Nyheim Hines.
I like Nyheim Hines because I have him on my fantasy roster. So I'm hoping for that. If you have a spot to stash, right, you're not going to... Jonathan Taylor's clearly the number one running back in Indianapolis. That's not going to change no matter how well Hines plays. If you're forced to start Hines outside of a Taylor injury, you're really hoping that the Colts are playing from behind so they can throw the ball more, and that's where Hines will get more of an impact. I would like him as a stash.
All right. Lastly, Devontae Booker.
It depends on Saquon Barkley. If you think that Saquon Barkley is going to continue to miss time, not come back as healthy, then Booker could be a good addition to your team. He'll get a majority of the carries. He gets the receiving work. I don't think, outside of Barkley coming back, I don't think he has any real competition in that Giants backfield.
All right, next up, wideouts. This one's just for fun. Malik Turner.
Let's see. Malik Turner is going to follow Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, Dalton Schultz, probably a blank Jarwin, and Ezekiel Elliott for targets. Now,
don't forget about Cedric Wilson and Noah Brown.
Yeah, how could I forget those two? Yeah, don't like Malik Turner. Nope. If you started him this past weekend, you should buy as many lottery tickets as possible.
All right, next up. All right, this is going to be difficult for me. Olamide Zacchaeus.
Atlanta.
Yeah.
I'm not liking a lot about the Falcon offense right now. with Ridley going down, you think it's going to open more targets for Pitts. It's going to open up more targets for Gage. But I'm not sure Pitts is ready to handle de facto wide receiver 1 duty. And I don't think Gage is going to be able to step up well enough to help alleviate any pressure from him. I wouldn't.
All right. Next up, Elijah Moore.
Yes. I like the idea of Elijah Moore moving forward. Now, is it every week that Corey Davis will be missing and he'll see more targets than normal? No, but he has the opportunity now, and he's making the best of it. I think that's something the coaching staff is going to keep in mind. I like Elijah Moore.
All right, next up, tight ends. Steven Anderson.
No.
Ryan Griffin.
No.
Never know. Those Jets targets got to go somewhere.
They do. But you're thinking touchdown dependent. I don't think they're going to make themselves a focal point or a consistent part of this offense. I don't think.
Lastly, Cole Kmet.
Cole Kmet is intriguing. And I say that because of Justin Fields. And I say that because of Matt Nagy. Depending on what he wants to do with the offense. If I had a spot to stash, I would look at Cole Kmet. If I had a spot to stash, but if your roster is already set and you really don't have anybody who's expendable, no, leave him out there.
All right, on to we trust and don't trust. Before we get there, I just want to make a couple shout outs. Shout out to Rashad Bateman, getting better and better every week. Another receiver, this one's a second-year guy, Jerry Jeudy, again coming back from injury, but looking like he's getting better and better every week. Freiermuth, he seems to be also being more and more involved. So, I mean, some of these young guys stepping up and looking a lot better. One guy I do want to mention, top tight end this week, came back from injury. Heard what Sean was saying about him and went off. George Kittle. Said, nobody disrespects my name, son. All right. Anybody you want to shout out?
Yeah, I want to shout out all the people who proved me wrong.
All right, up next. Guys to trust. My QB is Dak Prescott. I think he's going to be, for lack of a better term, pissed off. I think he's going to be mad. I think he's going to come out. I think this whole offense is going to be mad, and they're just going to come out and they're just going to make it happen. Running back, Javonte Williams. The Eagles can give up points on the ground, yards and touchdowns. And I think the Denver offense will be committed to the run, especially being in Denver. Then we got Russell Gage. I think Dallas is going to be up in this game. Atlanta's going to get a lot of garbage time, and Atlanta's going to take advantage. My tight end to trust, Pat Freiermuth. The Lions don't have good linebackers. And Ben Roethlisberger has been looking to this kid early and often. John, for trust.
Trust. Carson Wentz going against Jacksonville. Now, I saw what Jacksonville did to Josh Allen last week in the Bills. No, I don't think Saxonville is back. I don't know where that game came from, but there's been
Came from Josh Allen.
Yeah. But there's been nothing about the Jacksonville team that would make me think that performance is going to be consistent. So I think new week, new focus, Indianapolis is going to come in, Carson Wentz is going to have a good day.
By the way, did you notice the cool thing about the two Josh Allens?
What's that?
Both were the 7th overall pick.
No kidding.
No kidding.
No kidding. All right.
All right, you're running back.
The more you know. All righty. My running back to trust. James Conner, Arizona. Normally, Carolina has been playing the run pretty well. I know they gave up a lot of yards to Zeke early in the season, like 140-ish. I think they gave up another 140 to Dalvin Cook a couple weeks later. Generally, they've been doing pretty well against the run, but who have been those running backs they've been going against? Devontae Booker, Cordero Patterson.
250 to the Cowboys.
They had to go against a trio of running backs with the Patriots. And now James Conner. I think he's in line for a larger workload. He'll be able to carry the ball, those receptions, and the Arizona offense is better than any offense that Carolina has faced recently. And I've been wrong about James Conner in the past and undervaluing him and underrating him. So now it's about time I gave him some respect. So here I am.
Put some respect on that name.
James Conner. Wide receiver to trust, Deontay Johnson going against Detroit. He has been the apple of Ben Roethlisberger's eye for the past 3 weeks by peppering him with 32 targets. 32 targets. Let's hope that continues. And my tight end to trust, because I'm going to be right about this sometime, Mike Gesicki going against Baltimore. Baltimore has already given up 6 touchdowns in the season. Tua will probably not be starting due to his finger injury. I'd be really surprised if he starts. So I'm expecting Jacoby Brissett to be back there. And I'm really hoping for a touchdown because Gesicki's going to stay here until I get him right. It might be a long time.
All right. Well, that's going to be kind of interesting. We'll see. All right. Up next, my quarterback not to trust. That guy you said at that monster game, Mr. Baker Mayfield. Patriots don't give up a lot of it in the pass. So I got Baker having a rough game. I have Josh Howard. I'm not Jordan Howard having a rough game against the Broncos. I don't see it. I think the Broncos are going to try and make Hurts beat them. And we'll see how that works. And then Justin Jefferson. I know I'm bold with this one. I got him not doing much against the Chargers. The Chargers pay that 2 deep shell. I think he's going to get some receptions, but it's going to be like 10 yards here, 5 yards there. And then my tight end is Mark Andrews versus the Dolphins. They actually play tight ends very well in coverage. They just don't do much else very well. All right, Sean, who you got?
I don't do much else very well. Okay. Alrighty. My quarterback not to trust is Teddy Bridgewater going against Philadelphia. In this game, Denver should be running a lot, taking the ball out of Teddy's hands. That's what the game plan should be. We don't know We don't know which Teddy Bridgewater is going to show up. All right, so we got running back not to trust. Christian McCaffrey. Yes, he is back. Yes, he is. Or he was my 1-1 if I had that draft pick at the beginning of the season. Yes, I am telling you not to start him this week because they're going against Arizona, who has a pretty decent defense. And Sam Darnold is out with a shoulder injury, which means PJ Walker will be starting for the Carolina against the Arizona Cardinals. I am not trusting McCaffrey in this matchup. They're going to try and do too much with him, and it's not going to be pretty. Wide receiver not to trust.
All right.
Donovan Peoples-Jones. Don't go chasing waterfalls, and don't go chasing last week's touchdowns. There's my words of wisdom right there. Don't chase waterfalls. Don't chase last week's touchdowns. Well, Baker Mayfield's got to throw to somebody. Odell Beckham Jr.'s gone, which opens up targets. Not liking it. And my tight end not to trust. Dalton Schultz against Atlanta. Michael Gallup is back. And Atlanta does a pretty decent job of defending the tight ends. So all of that makes me think he may not be seeing as many targets as he did earlier in the season.
All right, so that's all we wrote for this week, folks. I've suspended the words of wisdom when it comes to fantasy. Don't sit there and try to get our words of wisdom. We already gave you our advice. Back up.
Give me some space, gosh.